Welcome back to Dockside Shop and Forge, and to the 100 and some new subscribers over the last week or so, welcome. So you've pushed ahead the start time for the 750 subscriber giveaway. So this video is the entry video, details towards the end. But right now, let's get back into it. So we still have to squish this down a little bit to get it closer to the final dimensions we want. So basically we have to reduce it by about 5 millimeters to a side, well, on two sides anyway, to get it down to about 45 millimeters, give or take a little bit, which will bulk out the end by about, the length by about 1 centimeter for the core. And I think we have to square it up a little bit, it's a tiny bit out of square. Forge down this chunk of 4140 for the face. So this is about 290 grams from memory. And this for the peen, which is about 100 grams. So which should end up with a hammer on the order of 1.2 kilos, maybe a little bit less. If we end up at over 1 kilo, I'll be very, very happy. Because that will get us over the 2.2, which is analogous to the 22 years that I've owned this anvil. So it all kind of ties in together. So, without further ado, let's get things hot and let's get this thing down a size. Now, I am going to test out the new press, which you can kind of see behind me. Finished that during the past week. We're just going to not do much of the work on it. I'm just going to see how this wrought iron behaves under it, to see how I can apply it to future wrought iron projects. Otherwise it's purely for setting welds for Damascus type stuff and doing fuller lines in hammers and blades that might need them. So let's get things hot and have some fun. So I'm going to start off with these. I need to upset them down. Down to about 15 or so millimeters. This one is going to be interesting. For this one, we're aiming for a 15 by 15 by 45-ish lozenge. Alright, that's 20 by 20 by so it's right on 20. Let's make this thing into a square. Let's give that on again. But let's see how far we got that time. Ooh, 5, 5-ish, 5-ish. So we should be a little bit longer. But we are mostly squishing into that core. Okay, a bit under, so we're at 42 and 42, but a bit over what we want thickness wise. onto that face. If we futz around much longer, we're going to lose too much to scale. Close to where we want it. I'm going to go with that's welded, seeing as it didn't fall off. Looks like a solid weld to me. Blend that in and refine that weld a little. Okay. Gently does it. I'm sure you're all wondering how you will go about entering to win this hammer. All you've got to do, subscribe, comment down below and hit the like. If you want to share the video, I'd love it if you did. Any social media platform, up to you. But it's not a requirement. So, let's get back to the video. Alright, let's see about welding that back on again. I'm fairly certain we caught this early. That is going to be a problem for the rest of the journey. torch this down to about 40. We're going to lose a fair bit of mass, but it should give us a little more material behind the face. Well, I found the seam again, right out there. And this is what I was afraid of. However, that gives us the opportunity to forge the whole thing down to 40 and hopefully draw it out a bit longer. Well, plug is loose. What we're going to do is mostly drift the eye to size, then weld on the working face. I need to upset that down on itself a bit, and then we'll draw out the peen. Okay, welding the face, take 2. Let's see what it looks like. Apart from that, looks pretty good. gently forge it back in. We grind it off. Alright, so that's the working face done. Now it's time to start drawing out the peen, and then we'll finish the eye. Now you'll notice I have given the press a try, so it's important not to forget the important bits. That is to keep the fish lips from happening. Peen is starting to come together. 10 mils to go. Alright, so we're struggling to get that weld to take and to stay. So we're trying a trick where we've domed both surfaces slightly so when they come together they squeeze out the flux and the goo and all the slag and crap, and hopefully we get a cleaner surface to surface mating. We're coming up on welding heat now, but this is a very unstable setup, so it may fall apart. Okay, for this style of weld, because it's so unstable, I am going to baby it and hope it takes. This one has been a struggle. The hoop welded up nicely. Just not sure why the 4140 is not taking. Usually it takes first go. Looking a little more promising. That's it, it just went, it just popped. There may have been enough residual heat. Gently. Alright, I think this one actually took. Not sure what I did different, but... Now, for the peen, we will need to trim the ends because I've left it way too long, but that's okay. Let's just get that set properly. Get it into the annealing bucket so we can tidy it up tomorrow and heat treat it. Alright, so this is the final drawing of the eye. for annealing, and then I'll have to do some bevels and tidy up things. And it's ended up a lot smaller than I'd hoped. A lot. Alright, so into the annealing bucket goes. Alright. The truth. Well, at the end of the day, we've got a small hammer. It's come in at 620 grams, which, if my maths is right, is 22 ounces. So I know there was talk of 22 pounds and 2.2 pounds for a hammer. The significance being that I've had the anvil for 22 years. Coincidentally, I came out with 22 ounces. It's a lot smaller than I was planning, and as you'll have seen, there were issues during the forging. I could not get the faceplate to cleanly weld, and it kept delaminating. Now, eventually I got it to stick by actually reversing it, so I had two convex surfaces meeting, which actually allows you to squeeze out slag a lot better than the usual methods. However, it's very unstable and it's very difficult to keep things in alignment, which is why it has this here. I could not get it to fit up nicely afterwards. As you'll have seen through the video though, this weld heats uniformly, holds heat uniformly. There aren't any cold spots along these edges or the corners. The very tips do get cold, but you'd expect that because they are exposed corners. So it is a solid weld, it's just cosmetically not perfect. Flip side, on the pin I had absolutely no trouble whatsoever with that. That took first go. So I don't know what I did different. It just is. So, as you'll have seen previously, the instructions are in the video. So get to it if you want to be in for this one. Yes, it's small, but it is a nice little hammer. I've never done this pattern before. I'm quite pleased with how it came out. So really quite tidy, other than the obvious cosmetics. There's a little bit of the seam from the jelly rolling still visible. Kind of surprised that that's still there, and you can see a little bit of the grain showing through. Just a hint of it. So it's an interesting little hammer. If the eventual winner wants me to, I can etch it. I'd rather not. I do prefer them to look like this. But if you'd like it etched, let me know. I won't be hanging it on a handle simply because there is the potential for it to ship international, and timber shipping international can be a bit of a problem. So I will leave it up to the winner. If they're a domestic Australian winner, fine, I will hang it on a handle. That shouldn't be a problem. If you're international, I'm sorry, you're going to have to do the handle yourself. It should fit most handle profiles. It's a fairly standard eye size. So, thank you all for getting me across the milestone. It's been an amazing ride to get to this point. And I'd love for it to continue, so if you've enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up. Feel free to share on social media, and if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell when you do. I don't always upload on a Monday and Friday, but generally I try to keep to that schedule. So get out to your shop, push the envelope, do something different, have a lot of fun. I sure did with this one, frustrating as it was at times, but above all, stay safe, and I'll catch you for the next one.